Hey parents of teen drivers, Seth Smiley here again with another edition. Today we're going to be talking about some of the top automated features that are pre-installed into a vehicle that will actually try to help your teen stay safer when they're on the road. A lot of these that we deal with all the time in regular driving, and we love these features as adults, and so they potentially have life-saving aspects for teens as well. Another thing that I was reading, kind of counter to this article that I got this information from, was that teens actually need to be taught to drive without all the fancy bells and whistles, and then you introduce other things as well, because sometimes teens become a little bit too complacent and they rely on the technology too much, which potentially can lead you to trouble. It's one of those things. Wouldn't you like to have your teen be on the road and know how to do everything? And the technology is great, but having that as a backup, wouldn't that make you feel more safe? And let me know if there are things that you do. Feel free to leave a comment with regards to training your teen or keeping your teen safer, or if there's any of these safety features that you're like, hey, this is a must-have. My teen really needs this. I mean, something simple like a rear backup camera, right? We all learned to drive without those, and now teenagers, they're installed on every single car, and we love them. But don't you think that they actually need to learn that first before they actually are, just 100% relying on the camera that they're looking out of, because there's potentially other things that they may need to be looking for. So that's a feature. That's one. There's going to be 7 or 8 of these. Another one is buckle to drive. So that's kind of a cool one, because it actually won't let them, actually put the vehicle into gear until they are buckled up. So this helps create that good habit, and we all know that we are our habits, right? And so in order for you to tell them and teach them, this is another thing that can help them as well. Cruise control is one that we've always had, and it's a very functional, good device. Cruise controls are getting smarter these days, so they will speed up and slow down with traffic, and in some cars they will even do other things as well, potentially stop for stop signs and do other things. So that's something that's good, but it also has the potential to have the teen rely on the technology too much. And so some of these self-driving cars that are coming out, they don't always know what's going on, and I have experience with that. And sometimes it'll slow down really fast with no reason, or veer or whatever, because it thinks it sees something, and you don't want the teen relying on those features. Change lane alert. That is one of the. I think that's a fantastic one. Blind spots have always been an issue, and as a personal injury lawyer, we see lots of people getting over and getting into accidents from blind spots. So change lane alert is one of those that beeps whenever somebody's in your blind spot to let you know not to sneak over. Emergency braking. This is one that can be good for people who aren't paying attention or they're distracted, and it will stop, to prevent an accident. I think that's going to be a good one going forward into the future to prevent rear end collisions and things like that. But it also is something that, again, you don't want to be trained on that when you begin driving, because you will end up relying on it too much. And what happens if the technology fails? Then we have another type of lawsuit on our hand. They have speed warnings, they have speed limiters, they have audio limits. One of the cool things I saw was they actually have a report card, and after the teen is done driving, it'll have the distance, the miles an hour, the gas, like all this data on the vehicle, acceleration, those types of things. And a lot of times those reports can be emailed or text to the parents as well. So there is a lot of nifty information and a lot of cool technology that's out there, but what is actually working in the real world? As drivers, we know what we like, but we were trained differently. And so we need to make sure that the teens are being trained in a way, kind of the old school way, right? And I know a lot of people who are watching this, learn to drive a standard and then convert it over to an automatic. And it's kind of the same philosophy, even though we don't think that that's going to be phased out like a standard was. But yeah, I mean, would it make you feel safer to have your teen taught, without the technology, or do you think it's safer to have it there? So, feel free to let me know your thoughts on that. And I do think it's something that is, that train's coming. Technology is going to be here. And so we do need to develop good, responsible drivers going forward. So anyway, this is another edition of the Parents of Teen Drivers Facebook group. My name is Seth Smiley with the Smiley Law Firm. See you next time.